Hello, very nice to meet everyone today. I'm Tammy from Numbers Protocol. Glad to share our views about how to make AI responsible and smart. So I will focus on the provenance of digital media today because I believe only when there is good provenance on the internet, we can create responsible and smart AI. And I will talk about that more in the next 30 minutes. So this slide shows the QR code of my deck and links to the URL I refer to in my presentation. So a little bit about myself. My background is mainly physics, software, and data science. In 2016, I founded a computer vision company using AI to detect objects. So during that time, as a founder of the company, I was always thinking about how to improve my AI model using more data and make it smart and respond with the answers that I expect. Then I soon realized that in order to solve that and create a really responsible and smart AI, a sustainable data system with good provenance is required. So that's why I founded Numbers Protocol. So I will cover the problem and why provenance is crucial in the development of AI, then introduce the solutions and share some use cases. So most of the talks today in the conference are about how intelligent AI is and how many things it can achieve. So I want to focus on something else, which is equally important, probably more important, which is the quality of the training data behind the AI. So similar to human trial, AI learns from data. In order to train a smart AI, we need to make sure we have created a good library with quality books, quality resources. So the library to AI is the internet. Each piece of the content on the internet is just like a book for AI to learn from. So how is the quality of the internet data today? That's a question we should ask ourselves. The quality of AI is proportional to the quality of the internet data. So let's start from an old and yet resolved issue, misinformation. If any of us see this photo, we won't be able to know where the wildfire happened and how it was captured. And Google or Bing search engine cannot answer that question. So how can AI know? That's the question. With generative AI, the issue is even worse. Earlier this year, there were a lot of online groups using AI-generated content to ask for donations for children suffering from the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. You might be able to easily tell this image was AI generated. But what about 6 or 9 months later? Are we still sure that we can tell the image is not a photo and there is no real children in it? It is AI generated. The same issue happened to the creativity world. This is an amazing work and I can assure you it is not from AI. But how can I prove it? Do you believe me? It is very challenging to find out who created the work. How can I license it? Is it created by AI or human? So missing provenance of digital media on the internet causes a lot of conflicts between humans and AI, and it also causes many ongoing lawsuits. Faster AI development, it is more crucial for us to make sure the provenance on the internet is assured. In order to build responsible and smart AI in the future, we need to ask ourselves, is our AI reading right books? Provenance is just like the indexing system in the library. Only with good provenance, you can find the right book and who is the author of it, how is the modification history, and is it from AI or from human? Is it worth reading? And how to use that book, how to use that content properly. With good provenance, we will be able to build a system with a fair use of data and making sure the human behind the training data are respected and making sure the commercial use of the AI-generated content is legal. Then we will be able to build a future with a healthy and smart AI. So now we are aware of the importance of digital media and the role it plays in the generative AI era. So what are the solutions for the digital media provenance? So the solution from my point of view should have three important criteria. It needs to be widely adopted, it needs to be immutable, and very easy to use. So widespread adoption is of course essential for any provenance solution to have a meaningful impact. If only a limited number of platforms or individuals adopt, such as just one system, and its reach will be very limited. And secondly, immutability is a key factor of a robust provenance system. It ensures that once a digital media is recorded or tagged with the provenance information, it cannot be altered or tampered with. So finally, ease of use is the key for widespread adoption of provenance solutions. If the process of tracking digital media provenance is too complex or requires specific technical knowledge, and it will stop users from engaging with the system. So the third solution I would like to introduce is C2PA. So it was initiated by Adobe and Microsoft with many great companies. Numbers was also an early adopter of it. So the core idea of C2PA is to inject the metadata in the content so that information can be carried out during the travel of the content on the internet. So no matter where you see it on social media or on a website or you download it, the metadata can always be found in the content. So there is also a verified tool for it. By uploading a file to the verified site, you can see the modification history of the content. So imagine if your AI generated photo has a history of prompts used. So the updated version and the relevant information, the creation process can be kept and be proven. So it can be very helpful to help you to make your work more likely to be copyrighted. So the vision of C2PA is to be adapted across multiple tools and support all standard asset formats, not only the image, but also the video, PDF, audio, and many other formats. So the best of it is it does not require cloud storage. So it can be very flexible, but standalone injection also decreases the authenticity of the proof. So I'll share that more later. So here are my ratings based on the three criteria previously discussed. I will split the ease of use category into two separate components: open source availability and the existing service that can be used. So when it comes to the adoption of C2PA, it must be a score 5 due to the significant number of well-established and reputable organizations. The open source part is also perfect, definitely 5. So the overall service quality is great. However, I will say the development path sometimes is slower than expected. I think it's maybe due to the majority of C2PA adapters being large corporations, and I believe it may be quickly improved in the coming future. So the one area where I see room for improvement is immutability. As C2PA doesn't require cloud storage, it's sometimes challenging to verify whether the metadata injected in the content has been altered. So that's why Starling Framework addresses immutability very well by adapting Web3 technologies. So before we go into further details about Starling Framework, I would like to share how Web3 technology can help. So most of the audience today, you are from the AI industry. So when you heard about Web3, I guess the most common term in your mind is maybe NFT. But however, Web3 is much more than that. When we talk about the solution of provenance, it's actually very important to have decentralized trust, decentralized storage, and decentralized governance. They are very important because they will build the foundation for everyone to communicate in the same language. Without, for example, like without the decentralized storage, you need to study different storage protocol of different cloud services. So that creates a huge barrier for everybody to adopt. So Web3 technology not only assure the immutability of the digital media provenance, but allow you to access the records in a common way. So it is a very important technology stake when we talk about the digital media provenance. So Starling Framework was initiated by Stanford and USC Schwab Foundation. The focus is to use technologies to make sure digital files as well as their provenance can be kept for a very long time and can be trustworthy. So it is built with capture, store, and verify process. Last year, Starling Lab initiated a very important project to preserve the war crime evidence collected in Ukraine, and it was submitted as evidence to the international court. The Starling framework uses cryptographic methods and decentralized storage to keep the files and their provenance data for a very long time. Not just 1 or 2 years we're talking about, but 30, 50 years or even longer. So the Verify system also brings the professionals from news media, foundations, and institutions to further enhance the authenticity of the provenance. The Starling framework definitely gets a score of 5 in immutability and open source. Since it is not designed for personal or commercial use, so you may find the framework a little bit heavy for individual developers or commercial companies to adopt. Currently, there is no service provided yet, since it is an academic framework. So next, I will introduce Numbers Protocol. To me, I think it is the best provenance framework designed for commercial and individual use. So Numbers is a framework leverage Web3 technology to increase the immutability of digital media provenance. So the framework includes creation tools, API and SDK, as well as smart contract to write blockchain proofs. These records build an open, traceable network of digital media. So for content registered in the network, it can very easily see the creation history and find out whether it is generated by AI or not, and which AI service. You can also open the on-chain profile to check the prompt used to generate the AI. So the example can be found by the QR code I provided. So if you are interested, you can take a look. The Numbers also create the first blockchain camera, allowing users to easily capture or upload the photo to blockchain. You can use it like any other camera app. You take a photo and it will generate the blockchain proof for you automatically. So if you want to take a photo and prove it is not AI generated content, using Capture app will be the easiest way for you to achieve that. So here is a score I read for Numbers Protocol. In general, I will say it is a very good open source framework designed in the way that it can very easily used by the commercial company and individual users. So now let's get back to this slide. So how can we build a great library for AI to help it learn from a very good knowledge on the internet? So in order to help you to understand the solution I just mentioned, not 100% precise, but I will use the following analogy. So the decentralized storage, you can think it as a library space where you can easily store the content. And C2PA is the information printed on the book. So whenever you get the content, you can get the key information from the injection. But since it's written in the content, so sometimes it's also challenging to verify if it is altered. That's why we need Web3 technology such as blockchain to build a decentralized database of provenance data, making it open, immutable, can be accessed by everyone. So some people may say NFT is also part of the provenance. I will argue probably it doesn't, since NFT only records the transactions of ownership transfer. It's important, but it's just part of it. In the last part of my talk today, I would like to share some use cases that are happening to create a better internet data together so that we will have a great library for the AI to learn from. So these are the partner platforms of Numbers that are currently building better provenance for digital media content, including our platforms such as Viber, blogging services like Matters, music platforms like Music Battle, AV Mapping, and also the AI services. Instill AI is an open source AI framework based in London. It is working with Numbers to adapt the provenance framework for AI generated content. So only with a good provenance, it is possible to assure the AI generated content and AI models are safe to be used. But there are also many amazing artists who are already aware of the importance of the digital media provenance. They join Numbers so that we can use the technology to protect their rights through blockchain provenance and help artists build a better collaboration model with AI in the future. And evidence preservation work or news media industry as well, more and more institutions are using provenance frameworks to make data trustworthy. So the current internet may not be ideal yet. However, with all the efforts and awareness of more and more companies and users, we are moving toward to a better internet future where our AI can learn from the right data and become smarter and more responsible. So responsible AI only comes from responsible internet. So here are the QR codes to the links I share in the slides. If you're interested in the services provided by Numbers, you may also apply for the dashboard beta service that is going to be released soon. With the dashboard service, you can use a browser to upload and monitor your digital assets and create and check their provenance with ease. So you can type the referral code to get $5 credit for free. Thank you very much for listening.